Good morning and welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer. This is A Country Life, and I actually placed an order. It started as a pickup order from, I was going to do Aldi and Walmart, and then the Aldi one offered delivery. Now that is insane because I don't know any place. I mean, we cannot get DoorDash or Grubhub or delivery from any pizza place. There are plenty of days we don't even get the mail delivered. One thing about me is that if I see that there is a place that claims that they're going to offer delivery here, I will give it a try. A couple of years ago, I attempted an Instacart delivery because it said enter your address, delivery is available. And as soon as I tried to check out, it didn't. It was like, delivery is not available to that address. That's what I assumed would happen. And then another example of this is there was an internet company claiming to provide internet to anyone, anywhere, no matter how remote you are. And technically, I don't really think we're all that remote. I've been to a lot of places that are a lot more, or at least feel a lot more remote than we are. I contacted that internet company, set up a day. They were going to come, they were going to install internet. It was going to be a fantastic price. And I was just like, wow, you know, because you see those like little signs at the corners and things like that. And there's, you know, advertising for different internets or whatever. And so the day came, it went, they never ever called, they never ever showed up. And I finally called the company and I talked to somebody else and they were like, oh no, your address, we don't provide service to your address. So that is the kind of place where I live, and that is why I love to just test these out. So anyway, when it said delivery and the order went through today and it claims that this afternoon between 2 and 5, I will have an Aldi delivery to my front door. Let's see what happens. All right, and the reason for the Aldi delivery, and I also placed a Walmart pickup, and I know I'm going to be going into town, and I could do both pickups and everything. What's there? Just a little grub?
No, that's a spider.
Oh, okay, well knock it off, the tent. I know that I could have done both of those pickups, but I really, really was interested in if they would go through with it. There you go. Okay, and the whole reason that we need these groceries is because we are going camping this weekend. We have not camped since I think our older daughter Amber was probably around 5-ish or so, was the last time we actually camped off of our property. We camp over here often enough. I mean, look at the tent is actually in the yard right now because we were testing it out.
And I have never gone camping other than the yard or Camp Island in our pond.
Right.
So I've never gone camping somewhere else.
At an actual campground.
Yeah.
Take the little one out on the other side of it.
So, since the tent has been up, because we've spent a couple different nights in the tent, I believe. Only one night,
Yeah.
but lots of playtime. And we just need to get the tent down. So, it's nice and like we've had some breeze today, so the tent is nice and dry, and it is time to get this taken down.
Okay, we're rolling up the tent, and we have this to do, and then we have to put the rain fly, fold the rain fly up and put it in the bag as well with the tent.
Packing for camping is a ton of work, so I say kudos to anybody who does this on a regular basis, especially if you do it without a camper. You know, at least with a camper you have like some of those general things packed, although the campground where we're going, I just looked it up again to just kind of look at the bathroom situation, and it says right in the first line, this is a rustic family campground. So that basically just means that they have what they're calling vault toilets. I'm pretty sure what they mean by that is just a latrine or a pit toilet. There is a water station. Again, I think it's just going to be a pump. A hand pump, but I don't know that for sure. It just says water station. So yeah, it is kind of a lot of work. We're trying to keep it super simple though with food, like sandwiches, pudgy pies, pre-cooked brats that you can just stick on a little poker, but you still have to pack all of that stuff. So anyway, I just got it in my head that I want to finish up all the laundry, so I've been working through laundry gradually throughout the day. I have huge piles for Warren and me, and then the kids' piles, I've been just having them put them away gradually as they come through the dryer. I just knew that when we came home from, lighting. I just knew that when we came home from camping, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that needs to be washed, possibly even all of the sleeping bags, because they're claiming, so the weather forecast is that Saturday night we should get some significant rain. I really have to look if that's our area or the area where the campground is, but anyway, they're saying a good farmer's rain, 1/2 to 1 inch of just light, continuous, straight down rainfall. So I just don't want to come home to a bunch of dirty laundry at home, so I'm trying to get all of that wrapped up here now before we go. And if there's one thing that we are really going to need for camping here this weekend, where it's slated to be in the 90s, it's going to be ice. And thanks to Dr. Prepare for sponsoring this portion of the video. Dr. Prepare is a company that strives to help you create a comfortable living space anytime, any place. So today I am sharing with you all their Countertop Nugget ice maker. I'm actually not going to put mine on the countertop just because I need a lot of space for food prep. I have mine just over in a nice out of the way part of the house here. We're going to put this baby to work and start making ice. All right, so at this point, now that the water is poured in all the way to that like little lip right there, it says max down there. I'm not sure if you can see that. But anyway, and you put the little ice maker here on top. And then Maria, if you want to just tap the on-off button. Okay, once it turns blue, that means it's set to go. It should start chilling and, whoops, you know what we didn't do? We didn't put this little, that little thing has to go down. It'll, in about 30 seconds, it should start the chilling and starting to create ice. I'm going to set my timer right now and just see how long it takes for it to fill that bucket with ice. Okay, so after 8 minutes, this is what the ice looks like. It continues to make ice. You know, it'll keep falling and falling and falling here. I hear it every about minute or so. Oh, here comes some right now. Well, it is actually 2 hours later now, and I just wanted to show you about how much ice was made. So it made up to, I guess it's getting full, not quite, because when it gets completely full, it'll actually turn off on its own. So it isn't completely full yet. This little container here, the little ice holder, does hold about 3.5 pounds of ice. I mean, I love it because it's kind of that small pieces of ice that you can chew. And oh, I love chewing ice. It also has a little button here that if you need to add water, it lights up. I will say that if you don't have the option of having an in refrigerator freezer ice maker, which we do not, and that whole plumbing of it and everything would really be kind of a pain, so it's something that we've just never done. This is actually kind of a nice little option because this is super nice ice. What I think is the absolute best summer cocktail ever. You start with your glass of ice. And how cute are these little nuggets? Cover the ice with some Malibu. And then we have some of this really concentrated, pure cranberry juice that Warren made. Oh my goodness. And I don't know exactly how much I put in there, maybe 1/4 cup. These glasses have lines, and so I just know how I make the mixed drinks. And then I'm gonna top this off with just cold water. And a wedge of lime. And I always like to give it a little squirt and then drop that in there. Same thing in this jar, a little squirt and drop it in. And then you find the hottest and tiredest guy you can and give it to him.
I like the ice cubes.
Aren't those cute? That's from that new ice maker.
Nice.
All right, so 3 hours and I have a gallon Ziploc bag here of ice. I'm gonna pop this in the freezer. I'm pretty sure that these little, what are they called? Nuggets. The little nuggets are probably gonna freeze together. That's fine, because we're gonna be putting this in our cooler. Well, look at what just showed up. Seriously, you guys? I cannot believe that Instacart actually came through, because I think I was telling you this before. A number of years ago, when it kind of first came to the area, I attempted it, and once I went to place my order, they said, nope, we don't deliver. But the guy who came, Nick, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't watch my videos, but he was fantastic. He even said that he goes as far as like an hour and 15 minutes from where I live, and he shops all those stores and will then deliver it right here. So, like, I could have him do this often if I wanted. He goes to stores like Home Depot and Lowe's and like a long way from my house. So anyway, let me show you a couple highlights here. So I did try this for the first time. This is a blackberry lemonade sparkling water, 0 calories, no sweeteners, no sodium. So I just thought I'd give that a try for the weekend. What else do we have here? Lots of marshmallows and just your typical, at least typical in my book, camping fare. Maria had requested some Gardettos. I'm not sure if I've ever bought those, but she knew that she liked them, so. And some chips and some Pringles down there for Warren. We're gonna do chicken salad, so I got some croissants here. We have bananas and almonds and some cranberry juice, and I picked up a couple of these Caesar salad kits. I thought these would be nice. We could just probably even just mix it right in this bag and then put it on our plate, and then we're good to go with not, you know, without having a bunch of extra dishes. Picked up some of the pre-cooked brats. We'll take some sticks along. I have, this is like all the cold stuff in here. I have some peas and grapes that we'll wash up. We have pudgy pie makers. And so I have some ham here to make ham and cheese pudgy pies. So just basically all of the normal camping food or picnic food. So Maria just filled it up. We're gonna run into town, get our Walmart pickup order, and just let it keep making ice. It's gonna be perfect. By the time we get home, I'm pretty sure, because we have a couple other errands to run, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna have another gallon Ziploc bag, and we're just gonna kind of keep this going, because the goal still is to make 40 pounds of ice. So we are home now, and I can show you the full light. That's what happens when it fills up the ice, like the little ice thing here, the little ice bucket. And I'm just gonna put this into a Ziploc bag now, and we are gonna get this running again. Well, we are home. I have my Walmart order here to show you guys for camping. Lots and lots of water. You guys, it's saying tomorrow, which is the day we're going, it's 92 is the high, and then on Saturday 89. So it's going to be a hot one, and so lots and lots. 70 bottles of water. I also have 3 of these. These are 10 packs, I think, of Capri Sun. And then we went with a case of Sun Drop. That's actually a Wisconsin brand. Like if you are maybe from is that Tennessee? No, what state is that? Yeah, I think it is Tennessee, where they have L8, I think, or Ale 8. Maybe it's called Ale 8. I'm not really sure. But anyway, there was a... And the reason I'm not sure is because when the person told us about it when we were in, I think that was Tennessee, their accent was so strong that we were having a hard time understanding what they were saying. But we also here in Wisconsin have some local soda pop, some Sun Chips, and some Cheez-It Grooves. I tried to just get a variety of different snacks and things. This is like a family reunion time, so I don't really know if there's going to be cousins at our spot, if we're going to be somewhere else. I don't know, so I wanted to make sure I had enough snacky types of things. These Cheez-Its, we've never tried these before. Zesty Cheddar Ranch sounded pretty good to me. And some ketchup. I got this size because mine at home is an enormous one, and I just didn't want to take such a huge bottle along. Some Johnsonville brats. I got, oh, this says beef brats. Huh, I thought, well, this isn't what we wanted. I thought we ordered the beer brats. Well, all right, interesting. And then we have the fully cooked bacon for going along with our pancakes, and some Doritos. Peter had requested oatmeal cream pies. Amber's boyfriend, I think, is the one who first introduced, is that who first introduced you guys? Yeah, to oatmeal cream pies, and they have ever since been a lover of those, and I don't buy those often personally. I don't like them. Warren doesn't like them, so it's just not something I usually think or remember to get. Hershey's chocolate bars. I already got the graham crackers and the marshmallows from my Aldi haul. I did pick up some more dry shampoo. I had been using baby powder, and then like this last shopping round I got the Batiste but for the brown hair, and I really like that, but they were out with the Walmart pickup, so I couldn't get that. But been back to using dry shampoo. Sometimes I find that the baby powder, I mean, it works and it's very inexpensive, but I don't know, sometimes I just don't like it totally, if that makes sense. Some of these plant food spikes, again, the ones that I had gotten from Dollar Tree were Job's brand. I can tell it's getting late. My throat is starting to get a little bit scratchy here. But this is what they had at our Walmart. They just had the indoor plant food spikes. It's going to be just fine. I really want to get these down around my plants down in the garden before we go on the camping trip. So tomorrow morning I'll get these pushed in there. Some hot dog buns to go with all of our brats. A little bit of orange juice, some mini M&Ms for going into our granola bars, and then some Chips Ahoy cookies, a watermelon. I'm going to cut the watermelon ahead of time because this campground is a rustic campground and we're tent camping, and the goal is to really not have to wash or any kind of dishes. So I'm going to cut this up ahead of time and take it in ice cream pails. I picked up some more paper plates and then some Kleenex. This was just something that was already in my cart. What I really like to do is to add things to my carts, either my Amazon cart or my Walmart cart, and just add them as I'm thinking like, oh, we're out of Kleenex. I'm just going to throw it into my Walmart cart, and then all of a sudden I'll notice, oh, or maybe like when it's the next month and it's kind of time to do a big household haul or something like that, what I'll do is I kind of have everything ready to go in there, and it just saves a little bit of time at the moment when I have to sit down. And rather than having to sit down for an hour and put everything in the cart, or 45 minutes, I do it incrementally, and that just has been working well for me. Another thing I just wanted to point out is that with these plant spikes, I did have somebody in just today's video ask if I'm concerned using the plant spikes on food or on plants that produce food that we're going to eat, and I'm not concerned about it. I mean, I know that the things that we eat are fertilized. I've grown enough things over the last 20 some years in gardens to know that if I do not fertilize, I'm not going to get the yield or the size or the production that I want. And so I'm totally fine with putting these in. And I think somebody also, maybe it was in the same comment, had mentioned that with these, they didn't like that there was like some breakdown product left behind. I have not seen any breakdown product. I've been using them in those houseplants over there. They're the Job's brand, not the Miracle Grow, but I haven't noticed anything in the soil left. I mean, they just dissolve 100% and I just stick another one in. So as far as any residual leftover fragments, I haven't noticed anything. All right, well, we are going to, it is time to get into bed. My throat is telling me that it is time to just be done for the day. I'm going to hop back on tomorrow and we are going to make, what are we going to make? We're going to make Rice Krispie treats, granola bars, chicken salad, and what else are we making, kids? Oh, and chocolate chip zucchini muffins. So those are the things we're going to be making tomorrow, and we'll be packing up and heading to the campground. Well, good morning. It is pretty early here. I want to say it's about 6:30. We've been up for a while. You can hear the irrigation engines going. The coffee was set to go on at 3:30 this morning. That's pretty typical for Warren in the summer, at least like every other day, unless we were to get rain. Then he doesn't have to get up at that time. I see that the garden sprinkler is still on, but I have my plant sticks here, my plant food sticks. I was hoping to get those in down here at the garden here before our weekend of camping. And I know Warren is out and about. I also thought maybe we would ride along with him. There he is. I turn around and there he is. Hey, I was gonna ride along.
It's gonna shut down.
That's what I wondered, if you were getting ready to shut down.
So it's been hot and dry in the 90s this week, and I'm irrigating basically every other day for 2.5 hours. I start the sprinklers about 4 a.m. and run for 2.5 hours. The system puts on water about 1/10 of an inch an hour. So I'm trying to get the water on before the bees start flying, because I want to give the bees as much time to pollinate. So that's why it calls for our early morning watering. And then we do our watering in the morning so that the plants can dry off right away when the sun comes up, and that reduces the risk of fungus and stuff like that. So, but when I start the engines, you have to wait for all the pipes to fill. It takes usually 10 minutes to get everything full, and once everything's full, you slowly bring the pressure up. I run 70 pounds of pressure at the engine, which at my farthest sprinkler, you're only most likely putting out between 60 and probably around 60 pounds of pressure at the end sprinkler. But I have to run that pressure to get adequate coverage. So then we run 2.5 hours, and then we shut down. So it's kind of the process in reverse. You idle the pump down slowly, because you don't, if you would just shut the pump off, you would actually cause destruction of your aluminum pipe, because there would be such a vacuum pressure created that it would actually collapse your pipes. So you slowly bring the pressure down, and then all the engines are turbocharged. So I run the engines 5 more minutes at idle to help cool the turbo, and then after 5 minutes of idle, then I shut them down completely. So that, in a nutshell, is irrigation.
All right, now that everything is quiet again down here, I'm going to get these plant food spikes put in. And I just wanted to point out, yes, it says indoor, but you know what? If you are just kind of beginning, or you just need to fertilize your plants, sometimes you have to just go with what the store has. And some fertilizer is better than no fertilizer, at least for my soil. I have very, very sandy soil. It's very acidic soil. So for me, if I can get some fertilizer into them, that is a good thing. I'm going to get these opened up and get them into, this row of tomatoes here. This row of tomatoes, I had enough of the Job's plant spikes to get in. And then I'm also going to go over and fertilize everything. As many as I have, I'm going to fertilize every single one of the plants here. And I just stick one in about 1 inch or 2 away from the base of the plant. And these Miracle Grow sticks are very different than the Job's. These are, you have to pull apart. They kind of stick together. So first thing this morning that I'm doing for getting ready for camping is I had pulled out this chicken yesterday And oh, look at that. I had it in the fridge overnight. It's actually still a little bit frozen. That's okay. I'm going to put it in the Instant Pot, and I'm going to cook this chicken down for chicken salad. And yeah, I'm just so looking forward to it. Although I just realized that I do not have celery. I don't think. No, I know I don't. I don't have any celery, which is a bummer because I do love the flavor of celery. Maybe I'll put a little sprinkle of celery seed in. I do have a cup of water in my Instant Pots. And this is how much chicken? This is 2.5 pounds of chicken. I'm just going to set it for the poultry button, which is 20 minutes at a medium-high heat, at medium-high pressure. But before I can do that, I have to wrestle. Oh, that was the easiest one ever. So poultry, 20 minutes, it's on medium-high, and that's it. The zucchini completely thawed, so I'm just draining it right now. So this is how I work with frozen shredded zucchini. So when I freeze zucchini, I freeze it in 2-cup measurements. And that would be the amount for a double batch of muffins. You know, once you thaw the zucchini and a lot of the moisture comes out, you end up not with quite as much. Yes, honey?
I'm making zucchini chocolate chip.
I am making zucchini chocolate chip muffins. Yes, I am. So what happens is when you thaw the zucchini, it really shrinks down a lot. And when you thaw it and you drain it, a lot of that moisture comes out. So quite often what I do is thaw 2 packages, which would have been 4 cups of shredded zucchini, but then I just triple my recipe. So that means that I'll end up where I should have used 4 full cups of like fresh shredded zucchini, I'll just use 4 cups. Am I making myself clear? 4 cups, but it really would not measure 4 cups right now. It really is going to measure about 2 cups if I actually measured it. But I know I pre-measured it into 4 cups, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to triple my recipe. I just find that works for me, and you don't have to. The nice thing with zucchini, at least with this recipe here, is that there is some oil in it too, and so you're not relying on only the zucchini for moisture. So you don't overthink it. If you do it in 2-cup increments and you want to double the recipe and you thaw it down and you use it like that, they're still going to taste delicious. If you thaw it down and you go, oh, that doesn't look like 2 cups, and you only make a single batch, guess what? It's still going to work just perfectly. If you like following along with my recipes in the cookbook, the zucchini chocolate chip muffins are on page 42 in volume 1. Three teaspoons is equal to a tablespoon, so when you are doubling or tripling recipes, that's a good thing to keep in mind. Walnuts, I'm just going to crunch them up in the bag here a little bit. $350 degrees for these muffins, and I always like to undermix my muffins, and then I can always just do a little folding over to get everything down to the bottom if necessary. I'm going to spray my muffin pans today. I guess normally I do spray them, but especially here for camping because I just don't want the extra trash of all of the little liners. I've got Peter in the kitchen with me today. He is working at cutting up a watermelon.
Hello.
How's it going? I don't think anyone can see you yet, Peter, but how's it going?
Good.
So, same thing. We're actually cutting the watermelon now so that we can dispose of the rinds here and give them to our chickens rather than have to cut watermelon there, and then we need to bring a knife and we need to bring a cutting board and all of that. So just trying to keep things efficient. I mean, it's more work now prepping for camping this way, but it's less work when we're actually camping, which the goal of camping, I hope, is to get a little rest and relaxation as much as tent camping and using pit toilets is, right? Okay, that's looking really good. And then, were you thinking that you wanted to be done after watermelon, or do you want to do more?
Whatever you want me to.
Okay, well, we're going to make Rice Krispie treats if you want to do that. Otherwise, you could wash grapes, you could wash strawberries.
Okay, this one's full.
Okay, awesome. Okay, a triple batch made 2 of these 12 muffin tins full, plus one of the mini muffin tins, which holds 24, which is just what I thought it would. But there's just a little bit of extra muffin batter, and so I have this little Pyrex bowl. I use this all the time for extra muffin batter, extra pumpkin pie filling if it doesn't fit into the crust. And I just spray it, put the leftovers in here, and pop it in the oven with the muffins. But it's just a great way to use up the little bit of muffin batter without having to wait for an entire cycle of muffins to be done and then put the pan back in for just like 1 or 2 little tiny muffins. And then you end up like kind of burning the pan, and it just cooks everything on it. I just think that it's it just kind of becomes more work than it needs to be. So anyway, if you have a little Pyrex dish on hand, it works great for this. Ice maker update for you guys. This is exactly the amount of ice that 1 bucket, like this is the amount of ice that fills up one of the buckets in there. There's still plenty of water in there to make probably 2 more of these bags of ice at this point. I just keep adding water though, and we just keep making ice and popping it in the freezer. By the time we're ready to go camping, we are going to have enough ice, and I am thrilled. I'm putting together the cranberry chicken salad at this point. I shredded up all my chicken. I have plenty of chicken here. And again, if you like following along, this is page 13 in volume 1. And I'm mixing because this is, I really like to, I wonder if I wrote this on there, but I always love to mix Miracle Whip and mayo for something like this because I love Miracle Whip, the little zippy of the Miracle Whip, so good. Okay, so I have the cranberries in here and I have the sliced almonds in here. I just don't have celery, but I did put probably 1/8 of a teaspoon of celery seed. I didn't want to overdo it since I've never done that before. Peter is over here making Rice Krispie treats. It's just too hot. That one is so nice. So now we know stale marshmallows get sticky rather than melty.
So don't make popcorn balls or Rice Krispie treats out of them.
Yeah.
You're being for a treat. And they don't like to melt that good.
No, they don't like to melt that well, do they? Okay, let's try to get this stirred up. Are we going to be able to do this? Yeah. I'm going to let you keep going because this is your job and I need to get back to my chicken salad. Okay? So the chicken salad is completely done. What I did is put some in a container that I'm going to take camping. It's really just Warren and I that truly like this, and put enough away for us to take along. And then this Warren and I are going to eat for lunch. And I also had earmarked, we have Rice Krispies everywhere in the kitchen right now. I also had earmarked to make some granola bars, but guess what? The weather forecast is looking pretty bad as far as rain goes. So tomorrow, sometime between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m., rain is supposed to start moving in. At first they were talking about just like a nice, slow and steady rain, but now they're throwing in the word thunderstorms in that. Warren and I have been talking, and we're thinking there's a good chance that Saturday afternoon we're going to pack up the tent when everything is still dry, hang out as long as we possibly can at the campground, and then maybe come home. So we're like, you know what? We don't really want to have to pack up, and it's supposed to rain all this Sunday. So we're like, we don't really want to have to pack up sopping wet stuff, bring a bunch of sopping wet stuff home that we then have to reset up again on Monday and hope to get it dried out. You know, that's just kind of a mess. And I mean, I have snacks. We have the makings for s'mores, and we have little Cheez-Its, and I have fruit, grapes, and cucumbers, and watermelon. Yes, and your favorite Doritos, huh?
Yeah, Doritos and muffins.
Doritos and muffins, those are your favorites, huh?
Yep, buns, like salt chips, and cookies.
You
and
need to
M&Ms.
chew before you talk, and then you tell us again. So chew and swallow, and then tell us, okay?
Doritos, and just granola bars, and like ketchup, and hot dogs, buns, like cookies and M&Ms, like paper plates, like salt chips, and cookies, and more muffins, more snacks.
Thank you, Joe.
And tacos.
You know, that's funny. It kind of looks like a taco, doesn't it? You know what that is? Tell me what that is.
I don't know.
What is that meat right there?
A meat taco.
It's a meat taco. I think it's bacon between two pieces of toast. That's a BLT.
Bacon.
And some bacon. So we are set.
Honey Cheerios. Happy chows.
I do not have Honey Nut Cheerios to take along.
Yes.
So these little M&Ms, I'm going to put up really high so they don't get eaten. I'm not going to take these along. And we will make these into granola bars at a later date this summer. Okay, the pile of stuff is mounting. We have an ice cream pail. I have some Dawn dish soap in there, a little mini with some towels. Or no, the towels are over there. Anyway, tablecloth. I'm going to use this as like our wash bucket. I also have some wipes and some alcohol wipes just for cleaning up. A whole bunch of paper products here. My overnight bag. Coolers need to be filled though. Those are empty at this point. Good morning, Joe. How are the muffins?
Awesome.
Good. So we've been finding out that Peter and I are sleeping in a tent. We don't really sleep, do we? When we did it at home, we didn't sleep, and then here too. Everybody else was asleep last night, and Peter kept saying, "Mom, you awake? Mom, you awake?" I kept on saying, yes, yes. And then this morning at 5-something this morning, both Peter and I just like sat up. But that's okay, because honestly, the best time of the day at a campground is right away in the morning, isn't it?
Yep, and we walked around the campground.
Mm-hmm.
We did the middle loop, the front loop, and then we're on the back loop.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, come on, let's get this thing lit.
Oh, you're going to feed it real big right away.
Oh, I got to get this stuff lit under the grate so I can
Yep.
get it lit for her.
Well, once. Yep. What you want is enough.
Once it burns down a little bit, I'm going to take a stick
There you
and
go.
push it underneath there, and then...
All right, well, we have headed home. I just heard some thunder. We pulled out from the campground a day early because that was just what was going to work out the best. We didn't get caught in the rain there. Everything got put away while it was still dry, but now it is kind of just lightly raining, windy, with some thunder off in the distance. So it's probably coming. So I hope that you all enjoyed just getting a little look at packing up and getting ready for camping. I didn't film a whole lot while camping. You just get busy and just visiting and having fun, and I just don't always pull out the camera. Remember to check the first link in the description box below for the Dr.Prepare, what are they called? Nuggets. I always forget the word, what it is, the Nugget ice maker. Remember, whenever you use my code, you always get the best deal on the product. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye.